Thanks to the supporters of channel member Gadsden Gaming. Boys and girls, it's happening. We're getting a new stadium. And now Miles Leeburn has left the club. Maybe we'll name it after him. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 39 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a couple of games for you in the Premier League in the midst of the January transfer window. We are away against Crystal Palace and at home against Bournemouth. And since you were last with me, we have won a lot of football matches. As you can see, I mean, we did get smashed by Liverpool and smashed by Chelsea. In fact, I think we got smashed by Liverpool in the last episode. Did we? Might have been just after the last episode. Either way, couple o smashings, but then we did go on a Sam Amour inspired run of consecutive wins. It's quite handy when you play Leicester, Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Brentford, Plymouth, Middlesbrough in consecutive matches. This is why we're being so up and down with our form this year. So when we play the big teams, we play them all together, and then we have a nice little run where we play against the teams that aren't any good, which means this is what the league table looks like because we are in the middle of that run of lovely form, and we've got two more matches that should be very much winnable coming up today as well. But we're third in the league, 43 points on the board. We're obviously not looking upwards at Chelsea and Newcastle. They're none of our business, quite frankly. What we're doing is looking behind us, trying to make sure we secure a top five maybe position to try and get us into the Champions League. And we are starting to settle into this position, which would be nice if we could properly settle into it. But we are going to have to do it without Miles Leeburn. He got fed up of not playing, as you can imagine. So he has gone to Saudi Arabia, £18.25 million to Al Wada. They're paying him £62,000 a week. So he's not even gone there to earn mega money as European football's top scorer last year. I think that justifies me as being right in deciding he wasn't up to the task. The scouts now consider him a last resort signing as well. So I think we were right to move him on. Unfortunately, we also lost Colin Gray as well, who was recalled by Real Madrid, which means we are a little bit short at left back. There is a guy I've got in mind to come in and replace him. I'd like Dennis Van Veen. I've made several offers for him. We've managed to discuss terms with him once, and he immediately withdrew from the negotiations because I tried to stop him from having a release clause. So yeah, we're still trying on him. He's a little boy, 5'3", but very, very fast. And I think that probably makes up for his littleness. We're also looking at this guy, Peter Reinhold, who is a centre-back and a midfielder who we'll obviously train up to play as defensive midfielder. So he fits into our system, but he's 6'3", 10 caps for Denmark already, and hopefully he'll be joining us in the near future as well. As you can see, we did try and get Colin Gray back, but Real Madrid having absolutely none of it. There is one other guy we've tried to sign. We actually tried to sign him in the summer, and because we ended up not selling Amour, we weren't able to get the deal over the finish line. Vasilis Artimatas, who is at Fulham. At the moment, we can't pay his release clause. It's going to cost us the £46 million to pay his release clause, but we almost had this guy coming in when Amour almost left before. He still wants to leave officially, but I mean, he's arguably our best attacker currently, so we don't really want to let him go unless we get a spectacularly large offer for him, which of course would allow us to then go and get the fella off of Fulham. But you don't care about any of that, do you? You're here because you want to know about the new stadium. It's happening, as you can see. Future stadium plans. We are looking for planning permission on a planned capacity of 27,142 as an all-seater, under-soil heated, Premier League quality football ground, presumably in or around Burton, because obviously last time we played at a big ground, it was over in Nottingham, although we are still playing in Derby for our Europa League games. So we get about a bit. It's nice. I mean, it's the kind of size stadium we need. The only problem is when we got the email through, I think it might have gone now. I think I might have to just tell you it from memory. You're just gonna have to do a trust me, bro here. But it's not even going to be through planning permission until the end of next season. It's not the end of this season. They expect to have the planning permission sorted by the summer of 2032, so 18 months away, and then In my experience, it's going to take at least 3 years to build. So although it's exciting that it's coming and it's all very good for the future of Burton Albion, we're probably the best part of 5 years away from that stadium existing. I don't know that I'm still going to be here in 5 years because financially we are absolutely at our limit. The board actually took my transfer budget away and reduced my wage budget just before the January window because of the fact we're over our overdraft limit and the projection is negative because we don't get fans through the board. We've fixed it a little bit with the Leeburn sale, but that's it's very much a short-term fix. And we're going to have to spend that money because we don't currently have a left back in the squad, although we could potentially bring Pajoy back, maybe. He could play left back if we can't sign one. He's accomplished at left back. He's either-footed. He's barely playing for Sporting. You know what? I think we are going to recall Pajoy from his loan and get him into our first team squad. So at least we've got a left footer who can play left back for now. Dylan Smith and Liam Kitchen can both play there. In fact, any of those can all play left back, but I think Pajoy is probably the pick of the bunch. And he's a player that I was quite excited about when we signed and would kind of like to use. So Pajoy should be back in the mix. In the meantime, we're kind of using what we've got. Ionita can play there, but isn't really Premier League ready. Merkovic is a centre-back who's not really Premier League ready. Josh Daniels can play there, but he's much better on his right foot because he's a right footer. Same with Geezer. He's a centre-back, a right-footed centre-back, so it's not really ideal to play him out at left back, but we are going to be playing Daniels there today, and this is the team to take on Crystal Palace. So it's Hansen in goal, a back four of Daniels, Suarez, Kubasi and Dubai, Homo and Oscar in midfield, Amo Amayor, Stanis and O'Donoghue behind Rutter up front. We do have some good news when it comes to transfers and whatnot. We've got O'Donoghue to sign yet another contract extension. He signs a new contract roughly once every 6 months, usually just before or just after a transfer window happens. He always insists on a release clause, but we can usually increase it. So his release clause is now up to 93 million. There are still clubs circling for him, but they're going to have to pay us 93 million pounds for him. I'm not going to voluntarily sell him. So it's going to be a huge amount of money if and when he leaves. And hopefully that new contract, having just signed it now, will be enough to put him off from leaving this window anyway. But yeah, getting back to the stadium stuff, I don't know that I can wait 5 years. I think we probably need to ground share in the meantime. Over in Derby would be ideal. We've been using it for the Europa League games. We get way more people turn up for those than we do when we're maxing out the Pirelli for our home league games. I think it's just the financially sensible thing to do. Move to Derby for 4 or 5 years and then have the grand return to Burton when the ground is finished. But if that's not going to be the board's plan, I really don't see myself sticking around for the full 5 years because I just think it's going to be 5 years of treading water and constantly having to sell in order to keep the finances right, especially with a new stadium to pay for as well. So we'll monitor how it goes. I still haven't applied for a job at any point in this save. We've had 2 interviews offered to us, the one here at Burton and then the one at Birmingham that we didn't get however many years ago it was now. No one else has come in for me, but I do think we are quite likely, if someone does come in at some point, that I make the jump based on the fact that the stadium's going to take so long to be ready. And one thing that does quite appeal to me, I'm a club legend here at Burton. If I'm still the manager, they probably won't name the stadium after me. But if I leave and remain a legend, they might name the new stadium after me, which I've never had done in Football Manager. And that really appeals to me. If we can, for example, win the Europa League this season and then move on, I know that means we'd miss out on the chance to manage this club in the Champions League, which I really would like to do. But if we were to win the Europa League, add another trophy to the collection, I'd probably be the most legendary legend the club has ever had. And then hopefully when they have completed their planning permission and are announcing the new stadium properly, it's the Kevin Chapman Stadium that they're announcing, because that would be spectacular. We probably need to focus in on this match, because this is another one of those games we're supposed to win. Crystal Palace is a team we're supposed to be better than at this point. We're in our third season in the Premier League. We're in Europe. We're trying to get into the Champions League. We definitely should be better than Crystal Palace. So we should be winning the match. Angelo's come on at half-time, so Donahue once again has picked up a knock. Angelo now playing it back to Dubai, across to Oscar. Stanis is brought down in the area, but Oscar has stuck it into the bottom corner before the referee has to make a decision, and that's 1-1. And that's a lovely finish from Oscar. He's kind of poked it with the outside of his boot, but done it really, really, really hard from outside of the area. You don't see this kind of shot very often. And there's the foul, I think, on Stanis, and it's such a weird little toe poke at it, but it deceives everybody and ends up in that bottom corner. So it's 1-1, 55 minutes on the clock. We're staying on the attacking mentality because we'd quite like to go on and win the game now, please. Draws are useless to us. We've learnt this season we can beat the teams who we're supposed to beat, although we've just conceded another goal against this one, but we do lose against the big teams every single time we play them. We've kind of hit that stage of the save. So if we are going to get into the Champions League, we need to win every game against the likes of Crystal Palace, because we know when we play the teams around us, the Chelseas, the Newcastles, the Liverpools, we're going to lose. And it's very difficult to finish up there with them if you always lose when you play them. You have to be relentless against everybody else. Have they just brought a defender on for a goalkeeper, did I see? So I need to look at that. I need to look at the thing. It looked like have they done something mental? How do I look at the Crystal Palace team? Who have they got in goal? They've got a midfielder in goal. Why have they got Why have they done that? They've taken off 2 goalkeepers with injuries. Shoot from anywhere. Shoot on sight. They've got a midfielder in goal. I don't normally like to tactically fiddle, boys and girls, but I think this is an exception. They've not got a goalkeeper. We should be shooting from everywhere. He looks like a little guy as well. Right, shoot, Angelo, shoot. How is he making saves? What's going on? If you've been watching my Twitch saves lately, you'll have seen me managing in Scotland, and we don't ever make saves. Are you telling me Premier League midfield players are better than Scottish League 2 goalkeepers? Because that's upsetting if that's the case. Right, Kabasi, somebody shoot at the football goal. Angelo turns and, what's going on here? If we lose against a team that's not got a goalkeeper, I'm going to be very cross. Dubai, back to Kabasi, and now Kabasi to Oscar, and now Angelo into Stanis. Just get it to someone who can have a shot. Rutter has hit the post. What is going on? Do a goal, boys. Come on now. We're going very attacking because this is bonkers at the moment. Hobo's going to come off. Nibombe will come on for him. Rutter has been poor. Saturday, Sunday comes on for him. And we'll leave that there for now. And this is a big opportunity for Sunday to finally assert himself as our proper striker. Which, I mean, we've sold Leeburn without really replacing him with a guy who's our nailed on 30 goal a season, starts every game striker. Rutter is good in spells, but does have these frustrating games like today. And that is a goal from somebody. I don't know who got on the end of it. It's actually gone down as an own goal. We are going to, I guess we drop back to normal attacking now rather than very attacking. We'll have a look at it from the other angle. Sunday just needs a little bit of luck. He scored goals in the Premier League for Leeds last year. He's just not really getting the luck with us currently. But let's hope we can grab a winner, eh? I'd very much like to grab a winner. But Palace just knocking the ball around very comfortably, playing it back to their goalkeeper is an audacious move in the circumstances. But Palace looking to build again, and this time we win the ball back and Oscar releases Dubai, and there are men queuing up in the middle to try and have a shot. They're defending valiantly, Crystal Palace, but surely we're going to have at least one more shot on target in this football match. We've literally only had 2 shots on target in the match. We are shooting ourselves in the foot here massively by not taking advantage of the fact that they've not got a goalkeeper. What do I have to do to get these buffoons? Maybe we take off shoot on sight. Maybe that's why we're missing, because we're shooting too early. Let's just play normal football and try and do a goal. Oscar can come off for Divine. Please, boys, we've been on such a good run of form. We can't mess up against the team with no goal. They've played half the game with no goalkeeper. The original one went off after 36 minutes. His replacement lasted less than 15 minutes. They're going to score, aren't they? Oh, my word. Come on. Forward. Let one more shot on target. I promise you, lads, he's not going to save it. He's not a goalkeeper. Just have a shot on target. Test the man. Oh, my word. Right, get the ball up the other end and do it now. Come on. We've been the better team. It's very frustrating what I'm witnessing here. Right, we've got a corner. Surely he's not going to be able to cope with a corner. If we can just find a Burton player, he has made a save, and we've inexplicably hit the post again. Cross comes in. Sunday's there. Oh, my word. This is an incredible level of frustration in this match. How did their goalkeeper make that save from that corner? That should have been 3-2. We are not getting any luck here today. We're being ruined by the AI. Not tactically. It's just Football Manager as a game is messing with me. Right, Suarez plays it forward to Divine, and now Nebombe. Can we have a shot? We've got like a minute and a half. We've given the ball away. Right, we've got it back through Daniels, back to Suarez again. I like all the nice, neat passing, but I must press you for time, gentlemen. There are 97 and a half minutes on the clock, and we want to win this football match. Debye plays it forward to Stanis, still our top scorer for this season so far. Nebombe now slots it into Stanis. Stanis is through on goal, 1-on-1 with a pretend goalkeeper, and he just hit it really hard, and I won't hear of it. That is exactly what we deserved. We deserved to win this football match. We just weren't getting any luck today, but we don't need luck. We just need the other team to not have a goalkeeper. I mean, he's hit that very, very hard. I like the fact that Palace had a goalkeeper's shirt prepared with that guy's number on. That's good of them. We dropped back to positive. There's now over 100 minutes on the clock, and goodness me, did we do it the hard way? But we have picked up another 3 points. Our run goes on, and our Premier League position starts to look more and more healthy. Right, now we play Bournemouth. Hopefully, it's a little easier than that to pick up the win. And we might even sign someone before then. We'll see. Just before we play that match, though, boys and girls, I have a parcel I want to show you. Hashtag ad. This video kindly sponsored by Full-Time Prints, who I'm sure you've seen on various other creators' videos at this point. There you go. We have a little thank you from Full-Time Prints. There is a link to them down in the description below, but they've sorted me out with a couple of very cool prints from various Football Manager and real life football saves. I've not had a look at these physically. I've only seen the photos of what they were supposed to look like. So this one is to commemorate. There you go. Let's get it so the light doesn't shine on it. That one commemorates us winning the National League North with Tamworth back in season 1 of the save with our 104 points. All I had to do to get that is send them the save file for my FM game, and they turned the league table into a lovely print. We could have had a team if it was a cup final or a playoff final or something, or a star player, special goal. They can do all sorts of fancy stuff for you. And they also do stuff from real life as well. So this one should be a nice little birthday present for my dad, which is a Premier League table from 2003-2004 of the Arsenal Invincible season, which is also a very cool thing to have. They've got loads of stuff already designed on their website, and like I say, they can do custom stuff too. The link to them is down at the top of the description below, and if you use discount code LOLLUJO at checkout, you can get 10% off your order. Go do it now. Full-Time Prints. They're awesome. This feels like a sentence that I say a lot. Just the one change for the next game because O'Donoghue's injured again. It's only a little injury. He has just really, really struggled for fitness this season. He's only started 12 games. He's not been playing as well as he's capable of playing. We just turned down a £38 million offer from Leicester for him. I don't think there's any chance of him leaving. He still is only 21, so we cut him a little bit of slack. He missed some of his pre-season because of an injury, I believe. So hopefully it's not just going to be a regular thing with him now that he's always injured, but he is injured again. So Angelo, who started almost as many games as him and also hasn't really impressed, is back in the team for today. So let's get this team submitted against a Bournemouth side who are similar to Crystal Palace, a team we very much should be beating. In front of a full Pirelli, Bournemouth just outside of the relegation zone. A win here would be really rather handy to get as many points on the board as possible before we have to have another one of those runs where we play against all the really good teams close together, because our fixtures are just a nightmare this season. In transfer news, Van den Veen has now agreed to discuss terms with me again, and fingers crossed we should get that deal sorted out before the end of the window. We've got like 10 days before the window closes. So hopefully we'll bring both of those boys in that we were looking at before. There's still lots of media reports linking Amo Amayor with a move away from the club. I really don't want to let him go. I think based on performances this season, we'd actually miss him more than we'd miss O'Donoghue at the moment. He's the only player we've really got who performs on this left-hand side. Rutter using his pace to cause all kinds of problems, and Stannis is having a season like that one Alfie Devine had down in the Championship. He is scoring goals for fun from attacking midfield. That's number 17 for the year for him. It's still only January, but all credit for this one to Rutter, who just used his pace to make a nuisance of himself. The goalkeeper was committed, and Stannis just had to float it over the top of him into an empty net. Lovely, lovely stuff. 1-0 to Burton puts us up to 49 points. Only 6 points behind Chelsea. I will continue to emphasise that we're not in a title race. It's not representative of where we actually stand in this league. We're not the third best team in the division. We know that because anytime we play against anyone in the top six, they beat us. Interesting to see as well, we seem to have had a second tier put in all the way around the Pirelli, which only added 2,500 fans. I don't understand that. I guess we're never going to get any more stadium expansions at this ground. Now we're looking to build a new one, but it definitely feels like they could fill in the corners and stick another proper tier on top rather than this weird shape that we've got going on here. There's so much space there that you could fill in. Angelo's just hit the frame of the goal. Well, I tell you what, we're hitting the woodwork a lot at the moment, and that was another example of it. We're not blowing teams away, but we are in good form, certainly in terms of wins in a row. This will be like 7 or 8 wins in a row in all competitions. So form-wise, everything is looking good, even though we're not necessarily thrashing teams, which I guess is fine. I do feel like, especially if we get Van den Veen in and he ends up being the answer at left back, because my plan had been to keep Gray all season and then sign him permanently in the summer, similar to what we did with Suarez last year, spend our entire budget on the optional future fee for Gray, and he becomes the long-term left back for us. But now we're having to move a little bit sooner on that because Real Madrid are stinky. We might be fixing our left back problem early. And then I think probably the only area we need to strengthen then is getting a proper centre forward. A Premier League quality Lee Burn is what we're looking for. We've seen what Lee Burn, who's a decent Championship striker, can do in a good team in the Premier League. He can be Europe's top goal scorer. If we can get someone who's actually got Premier League ability and can do what he does, that's a 50 goal a season striker, and that's us winning the Premier League. But I don't know how realistic it is for us to find such a thing, but certainly we've seen in recent years, certainly for as long as we've been in the Premier League, the top scorer, the top 3 are always big, meaty boys. Is it too much to ask for us to find our own Erling Haaland? That's all I want, really. I'm not asking for much. Just an Erling Haaland for Burton. I think that's a reasonable thing for me to want. Right, we're shuffling the front 3 around. Saturday, Sunday is on to play centre forward. Rutter drops out to the right. Sanusi is going to be on the left. We're still only 1 goal up. We're going to try one of our long-ish throws that we like to do. Oscar sticks it into the danger zone. Daniels fights for it. Sunday's in there fighting for it as well, but ultimately the Bournemouth keeper clutches it to his chest and danger is averted for a little bit longer. I would feel a lot more comfortable if we could grab ourselves a second goal, please, especially with Bournemouth having Ward-Prowse in their team. They're a good corner or free kick away from equalising, and that would make me sad because, like I keep saying, we need to beat the likes of Bournemouth because we're not going to beat the likes of Liverpool. And that's the cross coming in, and I think Hansen had that covered, but it was worryingly close. I would really, really very much like a second goal now, gentlemen, if you could make that happen for me. We've got a lot of tired legs on the pitch as well. Daniels is going to come off. Pajoy can come on and play left back. That's what we've brought him back to the club to do. And Alfie Devine can come on and add his experience to central midfield. I mean, he's not old. He's like 26, 27. He's probably the senior player at the club now, both in terms of his age and how long he's been here. Now Miles Leaburn has moved on. I should think Devine probably has both of those accolades, which if he's been paying attention, he'll know that means he's next on the chopping block. And to be fair, he probably is. If we bring this Danish guy in to play in that role, we are very quickly running out of spots that Devine can occupy in the team. But once again, we pick up 3 points. We've not looked very impressive doing it, but we're third in the league. There's 7 points between us and Aston Villa down in 5th place, although they have got 2 games in hand. I guess more importantly is the 10 points we've got over Manchester United in 6th. Yes, they have a game in hand, but that's still a big gap. And top 5 every season of this save has been good enough for the Champions League. So we're looking for Champions League qualification. I'm brave enough to say it now. This year, we want to qualify for the Champions League. If we can do it twice, that'd be super. Through the league and through winning the Europa League. That should be qualification in the top 8 should be sorted by the next episode as well. You can see we've got the run of hard games coming as well. We'll see how February pans out before we decide when I'm going to come back for the next episode. But if you've enjoyed that one, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.